Good morning, everybody. Can we settle down? Thank you, everyone, for coming out. You know, it's not a joyous occasion because one of our members has fallen in a very tragic way. But we don't only remember Dennis, we remember all the cyclists that's been mugged, killed, attacked, and we do this in memory and in honor of them. And I want to thank each and every one of you for taking the time, the effort to come out and join the ride. Thank you for waking up this morning in these conditions with the wind. Thank you for all your messages of support, condolences, love shown, well wishes. You know, Dennis was one of our founder members in Club 100, and we honor his memory. And we want to say to Sharon and the family, you've got our support, you've got our love. Dennis was a great person. Never a harsh word spoken. Loved by all. And I want us to take that memory of such a great soul, 41 years, cycle tours back to back without fail, and many other races. You know, my one memory of him, one of the PPA races, I think it was a Tour de PPA. I've got a photo of him. He was in a group ahead of me. And Dennis said, he looked back at me with this look on his face, like, catch me if you can. I thought, this bugger. But that was Dennis. He was fit, he was strong, he was a humble person. Everyone who we met on the road, he encouraged, you know, to stay on the bike, be fit, be courteous. And we want to tell you, Sharon, that Dennis's death is not in vain. We are not going to let up. Justice will be served one way or the other, and we will win this battle. And just recently, yesterday and over this last week, there's been 5 incidents, deaths, attacks, accidents, hit and runs. It's not good. And we all have a part to play. We're all guilty of it. We're all cyclists. We do know that. But motorists also need to know that we belong on the road as well. So the appeal is for us as the cycling community to take the message forward. Obey the rules. Stop at the traffic light. Respect fellow road users in order to get the respect that we are asking for on the road. So we can all lend ourselves, you know, to be courteous and to follow through with the stance that we are taking. We will win the battle. And I want to say to the Western Cape government, to all the authorities, enough is enough. They are not doing enough. And we want them to step up. I mean, just a recent interview I was listening to, where it was made mention that there's not enough usage on the cycle path to warrant resources being sent. And I want to say to the local member of safety, enough is enough. Because if you do send resources to police a bike lane, usage will increase. So it is not good enough to say, because of low usage, we are not going to send resources. We do not accept that. Yep. Something needs to be done. So we can all rally together and stand by this cause. And after today, don't let go. Continue to push until we see something being done. We need to get something done. We need to mobilize, and we need to put our bodies on the line to get this thing done. So as a cycling community, carry this message forward. Keep applying the pressure. But most importantly, in order for you to be successful with that message, you need to also obey the rules. So I salute you, each and every one of you. And Dennis, watching from up there, we salute you. Rest softly and ride beautifully up there. Sharon, you have our love and support. I'm just going to have a word from you at PPA, and then Sharon and family will address us, and then we'll have the councillor address us. And that will be the order of events.
That was great. I'm not going to stand in the soapbox. I'll be very quick. Our deepest condolences. I think you've said it all. I'm not going to say too much about the safety elements. We know what the issues are. It's about the resources behind them. And I can promise you now that as a council here today, we work a lot with provinces, cities throughout the country. And I can promise you now, the residents are not perfect. And I'm not going to stand here and say give them massive support, because this was a death, an uncalled for death, a tragic death. But I always look at best intentions, and there are good people there with good intentions. They don't always get it right, even we as PPA. Please guys, I say it so often, we know the situation in the country, we know the crime, we know the lawlessness, we know the lack of consequences. People, life is cheap here. For a cell phone, for a wallet. For what? I mean, really. Sharon's lost her husband, you guys have lost a friend, we've lost a community member. Cycle is so weird. We stick together. Craig said we've got to set the example though. We all motorists, we all use the road in different capacities. We drive cars, we walk, we pedestrian, we cycle, we maybe skateboard. And we break the law. I break the law every day. I go 62 in a 60 zone. That's breaking the law. We've got to set the example. You said something on the radio the other day that really was a fantastic message, and that was you lived your life with Dennis for 10 years. Pure, love each other, you said it every day. I can't tell you how much that stuck with me, because we tend to do things quickly, we're under pressure every day, we get on with our lives. We don't stop to smell the proverbial roses because we're too busy chasing the next sales target or doing whatever. What you said really stuck with me. Care for each other, love each other, take care of each other on the road, cycle in groups. Yes, it's not perfect, and I know that certain routes are very dangerous, and it's not right. The council will talk to you now about what they're doing. It's not right, I agree with you. But while it is like it is, we need to take care of each other, and we need to be safe as possible. So please take precautions. If it's a particularly dangerous area, don't cycle it. Take the 10 minutes route round it, rather, please. 3 deaths this week for different reasons. They're not linked. And I don't want the media to make a big thing about the fact that people die tragically in our country every day. Raped, murdered, killed on the road. There are lots of issues here. We know that there are systemic problems from above, policy, politics, etc. Not blaming any of that now. We have a role and responsibility to make sure that we keep to what we do. Rules on the road, legal issues on the road. Fantastic to see the guys stop at the stop speeds and the traffic lights this morning. It doesn't always happen. We also ride 5 abreast. I see it every day. We just need to please obey the rules of the road, be safe out there, and look after one another. It's a terrible situation. This is not a great occasion to be out here, but I really hope that something positive comes out of this tragedy. It's hollow words and it's terrible to say, but it's, one never knows what to say in situations like this, eulogies, and because you're going through so much grief. But I really do think that, look at the crowd this morning on a very windy day. People came out. I think there were over 100, 150 people at least out here on the road this morning. So they care, they really give a SH1T. They want to see things changing. We've got a councillor here who's going to probably get a couple of comments and flack this morning, but he's come out and he's going to talk to you guys. So I'll hand over to you, Sharon, if that's okay, to say a few words. Thank you once again, and I hope you don't have to do this too often.
I talk a lot, I'm sorry, and I know I waffle, but I can't help it. Before I go anywhere, I just have no words to say. I cannot believe the turnout for my God. Really. But before I go any further, can I get my family and Leonard to stand with me, please, all of you. My family have all warned me they were going through Dennis's cupboard and they were taking out all his shirts. I'm wearing, you didn't know at Pedal Power that they gave Dennis after his 41st, they gave him another 40 t-shirt, which I'm wearing with lots of joy and love, and so is Leonard. So excuse me if I hope you got patience and that you're not cold. Where are my family? Where are my family? Please come here. Tammy, Sam, I want you with me, please. I want my family. I want you to see that all my family have come from across the world to be here with us today. They made every effort to be with their father and with us. I just don't know. So please excuse me if I cry. I just cannot help it. And he deserves to be cried for.
Okay.
So, Ian, thank you for being here on behalf of the council. You guys, Gary and anyway, I better stop waffling and say on the subject. Excuse me if I read. Can you all hear me?
Yeah.
Thank you to Craig, Sedras, honestly. And actually, I must also say to my cousin Lester Durham. Lester's been stuck in Mauritius and he is heartbroken that he is not here today. And he couldn't manage to get a flight out. He was pushing from Mauritius as well. So thank you, Craig, Gary, Pedal Power Association, Club 100. I mean, you just are incredible. Thank you to everybody here who pulled together to rise up against the crime in our city after the senseless and cruel attack on Dennis, plus so many other innocent people who have suffered from people who have no value for life due to many variable circumstances. I'm so blessed to have all our children who have just arrived from across the world to be here, family and friends standing alongside me. We are. Plus Dennis's brother, Leonard. He flew in from overseas yesterday and he decided he wanted to participate in the ride tomorrow. And I have to just say, Leonard is 83. He's fit and he's strong, and I have no doubt that Dennis too would have reached this wonderful age, enjoying life if he wasn't attacked so senselessly or so soon. We are all wearing a cycling top or something that Dennis took pride in wearing. Leonard and I are wearing his Pedal Power Association tops given to Dennis in honor of completing his 45 consecutive cycle tours. We now all have to pull together. We have to unite, and we have to pull together to become an enormous, huge force as citizens of this country of ours. In Dennis's name and memory, we need to unite against the terrible political agendas that have ripped us all apart. Let's stand together as one, as South Africans, proudly wearing our South African colours and displaying our South African flag proudly. My darling Dennis, he so wished to see that again in this country. I'm going to say Dennis, not Dennis was. Dennis is an incredibly special, humble, caring, dedicated, committed, loving and respectful man. Cycling was an integral part of his life. Besides myself and our family, of course his precious Colnago took a main spot in his life. And I think I sometimes actually had to compete with his Colnago bike. He had that same bike for many, many years. He certainly was not going to change it for an electric bike, even though some of his fellow cyclists had to for other reasons. He was determined that he would never ride an electric bike. Dennis was quiet. He was a quiet, understated man who just took control of things in his own way without asking any accolades whatsoever. The Cape Town Cycle Tour was a hype for our city and is a hype for our city and for all from South Africa and globally who wish to participate. It was not only the day of the tour, but the build-up. It was the waiting for the day the entries opened. It was waiting to see which group they were landing up in. It was the planning of trips to get here, the weeks and the months of training, and for some not so much. The uniting of friends to ride together. The silent competitiveness of various riders worrying about their end time and their placing in the age group categories. The visit to the exhibition and entry tent before the event. And here I must give a shout out to dedicated Eddie Cassar, and actually I need to mention David Belize. I mean, David and the Cape Town Cycle Tour are just synonymous with everything, and David and I also go back a long way, as do Eddie Cassar and myself, who put that together. And I have to say, Dennis could not wait to check that board they always put up with the cyclists who have completed a certain number of events. He was so proud when he got to the event, and he stood at the board and he signed his name, I think, and they would take a photograph of him. Sadly, all those photos are now missing on his stolen phone. All are incredible memories. The cyclists waiting either in their chutes at the start line, or watching the start from home or TV, or standing on the sidelines. I remember waiting for Wendy and Raymond Ackerman, the main Prick and Pay sponsors for so many years, to pull that starting gun. The end of the event and the meeting up with friends to discuss the ride and the finishing times was also so important. Oh my word, my darling Jonathan just loved this build-up and the hype of it. I have to mention that in November last year, 24, Dennis was also knocked off his bike in a hit-and-run accident in Pardon Island. He was rather badly injured and he was concussed. As of today, and I must say, sorry to direct it at you, it's not personal. Nothing has been done by our investigating department. If the endless letters and phone calls I have made then, and trying to get the media to listen to me was taken, and if that was taken seriously, maybe a putting together Dennis and other census murders and deaths would not be happening anymore. But I have to say, he was so determined. And after being really injured and ill, he was determined to ride the 2025 cycle tour. Fortunately for me, I'm an exercise rehab specialist, and I have rehabbed so many cyclists and epic cyclists and back onto their bike after really very bad, very severe injuries. So I could do it for him, and he did it. he made his 41st. In certain cultures, those who have passed on need to be buried immediately. Unfortunately, due to Dennis' death, there was a delay in the funeral. So when Club 100 and PPA put this memorial ride together, I asked permission to delay the funeral for a number of hours. I know that Dennis would have preferred the ride rather than going to his own funeral. And this is where something is very important to me, and I hope you can all take something out of this. Our belief is that if you want a soul to soar after death, to be at peace and to rest, the best thing that you can do is a good deed in that person's name each day, and it will assist the soul in rising so that they will be watching over all of us. What all of you have done today in Dennis's name and other innocent people who perished so let me say that again. What all of you have done today in Dennis's name and all the other people who have perished will help him soar and fly, and he'll be an angel. He'll be that angel watching over all of us. Thank you, thank you, thank you from the bottom of my heart for honoring him in a special way. And I mean, I just cannot believe the turnout. I mean, it's just beyond fantastic. Nelson Mandela brought together a rainbow nation, but it didn't last very long. Let us all unite like today and bring it back in his and Dennis's name. Dennis loved South Africa passionately. He wore a South African and Springbok shirts with pride and with honor. He was determined to watch as many rugby games and cricket and all the other sports. He supported all men and equally women's teams. Dennis used to complain to me all the time and say, all I want to see is our South African flag dominating the skies here and around the world. He sobbed each time the national anthem was sung. Please, 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 guys, I'm begging you. Let's all unite as a nation in his honor and watch his soul soar, so he can be a guiding light to us all, and that his senseless death will not be in vain. I'm going to end off with some lyrics from a song called You'll Never Walk Alone. It was by Rogers and Hammerstein. But I've adapted it accordingly, so forgive me for that. And this is for all of you, please. Cycle on through the wind. Cycle on through the rain. For your dreams be tossed and blown. Cycle on with hope in your heart, and you'll never cycle alone. Thank you, everybody. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
The
morning, everybody. My name is McMahon. I'm the councillor for this area and the area over there, in Woodstock 2. On behalf of Mayor Hill Lewis, I send the city's heartfelt condolences, Sharon, and to the broader family. And I'm very cognizant and aware of what I say today could come across as a defensive response to this awful incident, this death. Any death should never happen. And so it's easy for me to say we did this and they didn't do that and someone else should have done this, but it's all not good enough. And it should change. It has to change, and it must change. In January this year, I was asked to come to a meeting. Roland from the Active Mobility and PPA were there, cyclists were there, Niels was there, government was there, both provincial and local, and it was at the SAP's office in Woodstock, and it was about this incident, this issue we're having. And measures were agreed upon to do operations in the morning and some in the afternoon, and they continue to happen. But sadly, it's at the Church Street Bridge is where the bulk of the muggings and issues have happened, and not here. But all of the measures, I mean, you'll recall that the cycle lane was closed in February for upgrades and infrastructure changes, and it was opened again in July. But all of the measures are not going to do anything when you have 424 illegal occupants living in land that is not designed for them to be living in. 420. There's probably 180 of you here. So just picture the scale of 424 people who don't have a job, who mostly are addicted to drugs or alcohol, and you get the size of the issue. So putting in plasters and sending out patrols is really just sort of not going to do it when we need to get rid of those 400 people to wherever they need to be. Transnet, pressure was put on them. The mayor and I joined Transnet on a site visit also a few months ago, and thankfully they have started the eviction process. The people living there have been served a notice on the 7th of July, giving them 30 days to voluntarily vacate the area, and if they don't vacate, the legal process continues, which is part of the process of the PI Act. The PI Act that still continues to allow people to live on our pavements. In terms of evictions in the city, we've been working hard. There were people living just under that bridge. There were people living just over there. And those people we've managed to evict through these legal processes. You cycled, I'm sure, past the castle. You remember what the castle looked like. We managed to evict those people. And next week there's a hearing in court on the 6th. And that hearing is for Transnet to add Department of Home Affairs to this legal matter. Most of the 400 inhabitants are undocumented illegal foreigners, and so DHA has to get involved in this case because a lot of them will have to be deported back. We're hoping for a court date very soon to hear the full matter, and we're hoping for this eviction to happen before the end of the year. That is the nuts and bolts of the dates and what needs to happen. All the rest is just simply adding plasters, unfortunately. But we hear you. We will do everything in our power. In the last 9 days along that N1 stretch, we've had patrols in 8 of the 9 days. But sadly, last week we were not here. And on behalf of the city, I'm sorry that this thing happened. I can't change it. But for all of you here to honor this man who just sounds like a lekker guy that I'd probably sit around a fire drinking a beer with, on behalf of the city, I apologize for what's happened. I send our condolences out to the family. And as you said, Sharon and your staff, let's take this, what happened, and get some good out of it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ian. Thank you, Ian. And I hope, do you mind if I just quickly get my brother-in-law to say a few words? Thank you.
I think Dennis would be overwhelmed by the turnout today. I said here, it's quite unbelievable to see how many. It's quite unbelievable to see how many have turned out today. It's hard to take in what has happened, and I continue to say to myself, and I just spoke to Dennis a few days ago. How is it possible? Today is very hard, an emotional day. Today is a very hard, emotional day for all of us. And so will be the days ahead. Time will of course ease the pain, but memories will remain with us forever. And good memories they are. Personally, I want to thank all who organised today on our Dennis. And to me, it was an honour and a privilege to join today's ride. And so to wear Dennis's 40th year Cape Town cycle shirt. It is a memory I will cherish and carry with me every ride that I do back home. Where I come from, as he said, and I ride mountain bike 2 times a week. Thank you once again.
Thank you, everybody. All my heartfelt words. Councillor, thank you very much. We look forward to some speedy action. Before we close and disperse, and when we do close the morning, again the appeal is we'll all be heading off in different directions. Guys, obey the rules. Let us not be the antagonists. Let us show that we are here to enforce the message that we are bringing across. Guys, we want to thank PPA. They will be erecting a ghost bike in honor of Dennis. So the bike will be erected at the traffic light. So Sharon, family, whenever you come past here, know that that's in honor of Dennis. And as we go, you all drive past, let us all just, spare for Dennis. So in closing, can I just ask that we all bow our heads and just take a minute of silence in honor of Dennis and in honor of all other cyclists that is fallen. Thank you, everybody. Safely back home, and once again, thank you for attending.
Right.